Hello, my beautiful, beautiful crew. It's Jamie Salazar. I just wanted to remind you that you were put here in this time and space for a reason, okay? And that reason is to help others wake up and to wake up yourself. And we are all pieces or parts of God, okay? We're all sparks of source energy, I like to call it. And we're all supposed to wake up. We are the ones that we have been waiting for, right? And so right now, on this planet, on this earth plane, in this dimension, we are waking up to who we are. And in order to really figure out what that is, or the dualistic capabilities of that, so the yin and yang, we have to see the evil in order to see the light, okay? So we are moving from dark to light. And what that means is there has been a shit ton of really evil things going on the planet. There are evil beings. We call them, you know, they're named in all these religious texts, okay? Everywhere. Angels and demons. They're, you know, people call them aliens. I guess that's a broader word for everything, or, you know, things that we say are not of this planet when, I mean, come on. We say that there's aliens in our oceans, okay? Like, oh, there's this alien fish, okay? So alien is just another word for something that we are thinking is unknown, okay? And so you could say that they're alien beings, and it doesn't mean that they're not from here. It, you know, some could be different and some may not be. But I'm going off on a tangent at this point in time. But just to let you know, I'm going to start a Telegram channel because that I can express and put out all of these videos, including my own and including other people that I have done research on throughout the years. I want you to check this out. I'm going to get that up, so it's not up quite yet, but I'm hoping that it'll be up by the end of the weekend. I'm hoping today, if I can figure it out, and I'm going to figure it out. And so don't take everything that people are saying on these videos, all of this information to heart. But what I want you to do is to do your own research, and that, my friends, is the real part of this, okay? You have to do your own research. And so you watch a video and it seems like, wow, that's really crazy. And sometimes you might think, okay, that doesn't really sound right, so let me do some research. Okay, that's where it comes from. You have to figure things out for yourself. And I can't just come on here and tell you all these things that have been happening. I mean, I can, but then, you know, you can say, oh, this woman is just crazy, which you could totally do as well. But you know what, at this point, I don't care. You know, there's a fine line between crazy and being awake. I won't say enlightened, because I don't think I'm enlightened. I think when we start to wake up, and all of us are doing it, and so many, this is a mass awakening that's happening on the planet right now. Then we start to really get down to the bare bones of who we are. Why were we put here? Why did we choose to come into this space at this time? And that gets really exciting. Now, it can get a little freaky, and I realize that it gets a little freaky because, you know, every time that I send things out to my clients or my friends or even my own mom, she was even like, what the hell? Okay, this is getting a little freaky. But, you know, even people that have been kind of more analytical, I'll say, are starting to really wake up and understand these things. So please do your research. I'm going to put that in the link, and yeah, so here we go. Hello, my beautiful crew. It is Jamie Salazar. Here we go. I'm just going to be real with you because I've done this a couple times, and I swear on everything, I keep saying the same thing over and over because I'm afraid to say it. So this is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are 100% real. The word conspiracy was blown up by the CIA back in the day to make you feel inferior and to make you feel like you were crazy if you believed in anything other than what the mainstream media was telling you. So what you need to do is do some research. I'm going to, like I said before, I'm going to put up a Telegram. You guys need to do your own research. It doesn't mean that everything that I'm saying is what, or not that I'm saying, but that I'm putting up is 100% truth, but it does make you change your mind on a few good things, and maybe triggers you looking into some of this research yourself. So that's not a bad thing, to use your own brain. The other thing is, hang on, I got a few notes here, but anyway, so the media, we've talked about this, the media is controlled by 6 major corporations, and basically what that does is, you know, we're slaves, right? We bust our butts all day. We have to, there's this huge gap between the rich and the poor. It's basically the elites and us, the commoners, or whatever you want to call them. And I mean, this has been for centuries, and it's being exposed right now, which is a really good thing, and it's really exciting. So the new things that are coming up for a lot of my clients and a lot of people is dreams. And dream states are pretty intense right now, which is a great thing. Make sure, like I said before, keep your journals and start doing some journaling, because I'm telling you, as crazy as these dreams might sound, you are going to realize that you have a lot more knowledge and you're connected to source than you think you do. So it's going to empower you just by journaling. You're going to feel more empowered, because you're going to realize how connected to source you really are. There are things underground. It's kind of like, what is that movie with the Umbrella Corporation? I can't think of it right now, but you know, it's all underground and all these underground tunnels. I've told my husband this and a lot of people this for years, and they all just laughed at me and thought that I was crazy. But I've actually seen them in remote viewing, in dreams, and I kind of think that I've had past lives down there, and probably more is happening than what, you know, and we're realizing things on a daily basis. So, I mean, there's these, I can't remember what they're called, but like I said, I'm gonna start this Telegram, and I'm going to send you guys some stuff, but it's Elon Musk that is like, they're actual big machines that go down and dig out these tunnels. So they're showing you, it's right in front of your eyes, that these things are possible. So with all these things that are, you know, all these conspiracy theories, and oh, well, it's not on the news. So, but I mean, if you research just, it's like open things that they just don't put on the news. That are being brought out, that they have this technology that digs these tunnels, and it's all completely just machinery. So what are those tunnels used for, and why have you never known about these tunnels, and where do they connect to? And we have technologies that have been suppressed, you know, probably for centuries, probably for eons, who knows. I mean, come on, think about it. Like, we've driven cars per se for, you know, X amount of years, and they really haven't changed much, besides like, oh, they're a little bit faster and they're more comfortable and they're prettier, and we still nothing has really changed with them. And you know, I mean, you can make this argument that like, oh no, it's been, but you know, I mean, come on, when you were a kid you thought that you were going to be flying cars by now, and we seriously should be, and there is that technology, and you're seeing that. I mean, what is it, the B-52, I think it was the stealth bomber, right? I could be, you know, don't quote me on all these things, but you know what I'm talking about when I say this. That was technology that was released to the public, or to the military, not to the public, from things that they have been picking up. So you can say that I'm this crazy conspiracy theorist all you want to, but do your own research, and then you'll be singing a different tune. So think about this. So there are underground bases and underground tunnel systems, and you know, these suppressed technologies. And you have to think in all of these religious texts going out for, you know, all of the religious type. There's a ton of them. I'm not going to go into specific religions, but you know that it's more than just Christianity. And they've been talking about how hell is underground, right? And then you think of all these movies that they've put out about zombies, and basically we're the zombies right now because they're dumbing us down by the things that they put in our food, spraying in the air, and what we've been drinking in our contaminated water system, fluoride and all these good things. I'm just going to say screw it, and I'm just going for it. You need to do some research on things like Bohemian Grove, and realizing that there have in all these Ivy League colleges in Skull and Bones, and I mean they've been putting it right in front of our faces for a very, very long time. And for a very long time, I've been very careful on what I said on my channel. And number one, also number two, I was always kind of nervous about what everybody would think of me, and they'd be calling me this huge conspiracy theorist. But you know what? Connect to source yourself and research these things and figure it out. And then go within and stop eating the crap and putting the crap in our bodies that we have been doing for years, and the fact that we have been manipulated by these 6 major corporations in the news, and we're so busy that we're not going to challenge that and do our own research. And it's just like, oh, well, what they say is how it is, and well, I didn't hear that in the news, and that's not what the news said, and that's not what the scientists said. And there's been corruption in all walks of life, and science changes on a daily basis, and we all know this. Medicine as well, schooling systems, all the, monetary systems is a big one. That's how they keep us dumbed down as well, because we have to work and, bust our butts, and we're too tired. I mean, we're so tired when we come home from work, and we don't want to do this research. There are earthquakes that are happening all over that are not on fault lines. What is that about? They're called DUMBs. Okay, they're deep underground military bases. So they're called DUMBs. Also, did we forget about all these conspiracy theories about, like, even if you don't believe in like what happened with the towers? I'm going to try to talk in a little bit of code, but there was one. It was an inside job. I mean, come on, you got to do some research on that and pay attention. If you don't know these things by now, you really need to be paying attention to this and doing some research, because this is your future, our children's future, and we got to stop this bullshit with our kids getting taken, and they're being hurt, and we're just sitting back and watching it happen because we're too afraid to speak up. And I'm pretty much done with that. So I mean, think about it. So, like I was talking about the towers, okay, there was a specific building that was never hit by anything. It was never, nothing ever, it was not in the news until later on when people started doing research. But that all of a sudden was blown up, or, it basically got blown up. And that wasn't hit by anything. What was that? And why was that not in the news? And the family history of our presidents, and talking about angels and demons, like I said, aliens or non-human beings, whatever you want to call them, but they're definitely here, and they have been here for a very long time. It's not just like some attack that we've been under, and oh my God. And so I don't want anybody just to be freaking out and thinking, oh my goodness, now there's this alien attack. Like, okay, look, calm down. They've been here for years. This, my friends, is the uprising and the awakening of our consciousness, and we're starting to do our own research. We're starting to openly figure these things out, and the symbolism that's all over the place is going to be, it's going to take them all out. So let's see. So do your research on these things. Like I said, I'm going to make this Telegram, and I'm going to start posting things up. Now, like I said, do some research. Don't get all pissy with me about, what you think is bullshit and what you don't think is bullshit. And either way, it's totally fine. You're just going to have to do some research instead of watching the news, who clearly is not telling us the truth because they're owned. Let's see, the Bloodlines, the 13 families. Now, I'm not sure, and like I said, I don't know all. I just know I'm going to, this is like my jam, right? This is my jam. Everybody's got their kind of thing that they do in life, and I swear on everything, this is what I was born for. So there are certain bloodlines, and you can see this in, they call it the Illuminati or Deep State or Cabal. I mean, there's so many names for these beings, basically, and they're not human. Or they're not of the same DNA, let's say, as we are. Now, I'm not sure about, there's so many stories, but one of the stories that kind of, I mean, you have to kind of think about it. I'm not sure, this is not, don't take this as gospel, but I mean, this kind of makes you think. So we call these beings reptilians, and I don't know if it, well, I do kind of know because I've seen them. But reptilian brain, I mean, think about it, the reptilian brain, right? And it's very like, okay, look and do some research on that too, because we're not going to go into that. But so the 13 bloodlines, there's been movies about this all over the place, but like I said, they put things in movies so that they're basically openly telling you the truth, and that way they don't get caught by karma, or and then there's free will, right? So we have free will to believe or do whatever we want to do, and they can't mess with that. But what they can do is try to manipulate it, and they do manipulate it because we are creators, and this is why. This is what I was going to tell you. I go off on tangents. I love it. So, I mean, you got to think Adam and Eve, okay? And I'm not religious as far as, I'm really not religious. I'm more spiritual, and you guys know that. But there's all these, ancient texts everywhere, and I love looking into all these things. But think about it, Adam and Eve, okay? And then we do know also that apparently there was, Adam was married before to Lilith, okay? And she was like this evil person. So, I mean, what if they had kids? Never know. What is that DNA line? And like I said, I don't know all these things as a fact, but I do know that you should do research on these things and just, get the wheels going a little bit. Also, there was the serpent, okay, serpent, reptilians, reptilian brain kind of thing going on. You don't know. And so Adam and Eve had children, and that was us, right? The bloodline that ties into the, let's just say, because like I said, everything is source energy. Everything is God. So we had to know duality consciousness, and so it's like the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, and so we have to know all aspects. We've been everything. We have been evil. We have been good. We've been every animal, every being, planets, all kinds of stuff. But this is just us finally waking up, and that's what this Great Awakening is. Waking up to who we actually really are. So back to the Adam and Eve thing. Then the serpent, what if the serpent, I have heard that the serpent may or may not have had children with Eve as well. So there's different bloodlines, and there's a couple of different ways that could go. So who are these families, and why do they think they're better than us, right? Or maybe not better than us, but because, like I said, you look at the whole big picture, and there's a lot of things that we could look into as far as that goes. Because, I mean, we have to know the dark to know the light, okay? So we have to know both. So nothing is necessarily evil if you look at it that way. We have to know all aspects of ourselves, and this is who we are. We are part of God, source energy. So, I mean, it makes you think about a few good things. And we need to not forget that we have been, there has been Ascended Masters on this planet that have come into play to try to teach us things. And that is where you get people like the Ascended Masters, the enlightened beings, like Buddha, like Jesus. There's all kinds of saints and everything. However, they have also put some saints into play that are pretty evil, and that they've told us for a very long time we're very good. And so when you hear these things, you're going to freak out, and I'm just going to say a couple of them, and you can call me crazy or not, but you should do your research. So Mother Teresa is her people, her charities, are now being basically busted and looked into for child sex trafficking rings. The Pope. I mean, we've talked about the Vatican and how crazy that is, and it even says certain things in certain texts, like the Bible, that is talking about how basically the good is infiltrated by the evil, okay? So you've got to think that just because we've gotten comfortable and we've thought that everything is just going smoothly, that all of a sudden it just like these things disappear and oh no, there's no such thing as that. And this is where we're getting into not understanding who we actually are and where we come from, because we're just allowing day-to-day life to take place, and we're not paying attention as to these texts that have told us the entire time. And it's time for us to rise up and learn some of these things, and that consciousness is being unlocked. And it's a new era, which is the age of Aquarius, and you know, like we've talked about before, there are planets and systems that kind of help us unlock certain levels of consciousness. And we're just now coming out of the consciousness where we were not the top dog. But that's okay, because now, I mean, now we should know ourselves a little bit better. And this is an exciting, really exciting time. I mean, come on, think about it. You, my friends, were put here for a reason on this planet. And I know I always tell you this, but it's so exciting. And I can't wait to dive more into this with you. So I'm going to be doing some more videos on certain things. I'm going to show you some of these things through the Telegram app that I'm going to get going hopefully by this weekend, today or tomorrow, and then I will put the link. So if you're watching this, if the link is not down there yet to the Telegram, then it will be. So keep watching, and if it is, then please go to the Telegram, to my Telegram channel, and start researching these things, and do your own research after you do it, because there's things in there like the Titanic, you know, like there's some weird stuff with the Titanic and how that may not have been an accident. It may not have been. There were certain people on that ship that go along with the Federal Reserve System that they did not want to oppose, I'll say. And so, like I said, it doesn't mean that this is all of what it is, but if you really look deep down into your soul and do some meditation on some of these things, and do some research on some of these things, I think you're going to find that what we have been told is complete and utter bullshit, and these systems are crashing all around us, and it's really exciting, which is why I keep saying that the crazier it gets, the more exciting it is. So I think I'm going to stop for there, because I could go on and on forever, and I'm really excited about all these things. And so, yeah, we'll talk more about a few of these things as I'm starting to get this Telegram channel. So I'm going to let you go so I can start to figure that out and get some of these things up for you. And, you know, it's the time of awakening. So don't by any means think that this is just like this evil stuff is going to, you know, I don't know. I don't want you to live in fear, because that's like Monsters Inc., right? Like that's how they get you. They basically eat fear, and that's being shown by what they're doing to our children and our adults as well. But they're doing some crazy, nasty things to our children, and then, you know, they're saying, oh, well, that's just conspiracy. Do some research. That is not conspiracy. It's been going on for a very long time, even before this whole movement happened because of politics. This is just now coming out because of the politics, which is exciting, but you know, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of shit for a lot of these things, and I don't care if you don't like it. You can just click off, and no big deal, no harm, no foul on your end. But I'm telling you, it is the time of awakening, and so here we go. Here we go. We're moving into the golden age. when it all comes down to it. So the golden age, it's going to be where we get all of our power back. All of the consciousness is going to rise up, and if people can't handle it, they will not survive it. And that's not like this crazy threat. It's just that's what it is. If you can't handle the energy, the frequency, right? Like we've talked about, the frequency is moving up. And if you can't rise with it, with Mama Gaia, then you're not going to be able to, you basically, like, you can't survive on, you know, in the same frequency. So that's where Dolores Cannon comes into play. I do some research on her too, where she talks about the earth split, and there's going to be two separate earths. And one is a timeline with negativity and basically doom and gloom, and the other is the timeline of the awakening. And I, you know, even though, so sometimes I know that people can freak out and be like, oh my God, but there's so much evil going on and we're all figuring it out, and does that mean I'm on the negative timeline? Absolutely not. It means you have to know what the hell happened in order to move your consciousness up, right? You can't just be like completely oblivious to what is going on and then move your consciousness up. You have to, you got to do some research, and you got to know what is happening so that we can change it. So this is a really exciting time. And I hope to be on here a little bit more. I'm probably not going to be big on Facebook anymore, because I've not really, or Instagram, I have not really been so much, just because of the censorship, and not that I have, I mean, I haven't been promoted, that's for sure, and I have definitely been shadow banned, I know that, but I haven't been kicked off per se, but I'm sure at some point in time I'm going to be, because at this point in time, Jamie's just coming out with the truth of what with my truth, okay? It doesn't mean that that's your truth, but I'm going to be real with myself and with my my inner guidance, and I'm just going to be truthful, and hopefully that wakes other people up as well. And so welcome to your ascension, if that is what's going on. And if you don't agree with me, then that's okay too. And I'm sending you light and love, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you. And please don't be scared. There is no fear, because the light wins, and we already know this, and it basically already has. Right now it's just the information coming out, and these are things that I have known all of my life, and I'm so very excited that now it's like I get to talk openly about these things, because other people are starting to get it too. And you know what, there's people that have taught me as well. So talk to you soon. Very excited. Love and light. Mwah.